Welcome to World Buzz Bulletin. Veteran international analysts are warning tonight that the sweeping foreign policy shifts of the Trump administration risk pushing the global order back into a volatile age of empires. Following the United States' dramatic withdrawal from a major climate treaty and dozens of international organizations, observers argue that the world is pivoting away from collective rules-based diplomacy and toward an era defined by raw power spheres of influence and transactional alliances. The concern is that by dismantling the multilateral framework that has governed global relations since 1945, Washington is inadvertently encouraging other major powers to carve out their own domains of control. The Age of Empires thesis suggests that without the stabilizing presence of international treaties, the world will return to a landscape where large nations dominate their neighbors through economic and military might, much like the imperial rivalries of the 19th century. From the ongoing intervention in Venezuela to the intensifying rhetoric over Greenland and the Arctic, the administration's focus on hard power and national interest is being seen as a catalyst for a global scramble for resources and territory. As the U.S. retreats from its role as the global guarantor, the risk of miscalculation between competing powers grows significantly. The shift toward this new imperial model is evidenced by several emerging trends: the death of multilateralism, the abandonment of collective bodies like the WHO and climate pacts signals that global problems will no longer have global solutions, leaving individual nations to fend for themselves or seek protection from a dominant regional patron. Bilateral dominance instead of broad trade blocs. The world is moving toward a series of hub-and-spoke relationships where major powers like the US, China, and Russia dictate terms to smaller partners in exchange for security or market access. Territorial competition. The renewed focus on Greenland's minerals and Venezuela's oil fields highlights a return to mercantilist thinking, where strategic territory is valued more than international law or diplomatic consensus. Critics warn that this return to great power competition is fraught with danger, potentially leading to local conflicts escalating into global confrontations. However, supporters of the president's strategy argued that the old international order was already failing, and that a realistic recognition of national power is the only way to ensure American security. As the traditional alliances of the 20th century continue to fray, the question remains whether the world can survive a return to the Age of Empires without stumbling into the catastrophic wars that defined that era's end. Thank you for watching World Buzz Bulletin.